So I'm here in beautiful Huntsville, Tennessee at Brimstone Recreation. We're down here for this year's Paragon event, which I'm pretty excited to be at. Usually we bring a truck and a trailer and our own rigs, but this year we got some cool stuff happening with Yamaha. So we've got a rental car. We're doing it that way. We're gonna kind of check things out at more the ground level, sort of hang out with people and see how everything's going. And so we're kind of excited about that. We're gonna have some fun as we always do here at Brimstone, and that's what we do with dirt trucks. If you want to be sure about an event that's going to impress, it's certain to be Brimstone's Fall Paragon. This weekend-long off-road spectacle happens yearly and includes everything that you would expect from what's becoming the Woodstock of off-roading. I haven't been to Brimstone for over a year, but returning to the town of Huntsville, Tennessee is always a welcomed experience. From the friendly faces to the bright and bold signage, you are sure to have a good time here. One of the keys to having a great event is getting folks checked in. From accommodation and camping registration to general event registration, Brimstone has invested a lot into making the system run smoothly. Your event entry is inside a fancy wristband that's scanned when you enter the event, and registration can be completed on site with the use of iPads. The level of professionalism here is on par with any high-end festival. You can tell folks are excited, and the number of rigs rolling in, the enthusiasm, it was tangible. I knew that this was going to be a great weekend. Brimstone Recreation is a very diverse riding destination, and different from some venues, the camping and event grounds are not one and the same. Traveling from registration to the camping or event location takes just a few short minutes, but delivers you into a location that truly feels remote and fitting of the off-road world. However, don't let that fool you. All modern amenities are available. Does nothing read that?
Should. If it's legit.
One of the big differences about a Brimstone event are the huge name acts that they bring in. In years past, we've seen massive bands, but this year was going to take it to a whole nother level. The pinnacle of the weekend's fun would be the Saturday night concert with none other than Hank Williams Jr. This huge country act brought in folks from as far as Canada and from nearly every state across the USA. When folks come to Paragon, they know it's going to be a massive event. Over the past few years, Yamaha has really stepped up their involvement with Brimstone Recreation, and at the Paragon event, they were there in a huge way. Offering a brand new YXZ 1000 Sport Shift to the winner of the Wild Mountain Rampage, a geocaching event where participants must trek the trails of Brimstone to find certain locations and document their finds. Those who complete the entire geocaching map will be piled up onto stage in the concert and have a chance to win a brand new YXZ. Along with giving away a brand new YXZ 1000 Sport Shift, the crew from Yamaha brought their full demo trailer so that people could get their hands on this brand new equipment. They also brought a full line of power products that people could play around with, and Scott Newby from Yamaha is going to tell us a little bit more about why they were there.
Yeah, with Brimstone Paragon, I mean, Yamaha's out here. We're offering a bunch of demos on our YXZ 1000R, the YXZ 1000R Sport Shift, even the Wolverine R-Spec, Kodak 700, Grizzly. I mean, we pretty much have the full lineup. Brimstone just really has great terrain out here. They put on great events, so we're always happy to support them, whether it's with consumer demos, I mean, even media rides and everything as well. So just a great overall facility to support.
It's great to see manufacturers getting out to events like this and investing in the consumer experience.
Well, I mean, it gets to a point where you can only do so much online or, reading it in magazines, to where at the end of the day, you still have to get someone in the vehicle so they can see what it's like. I mean, I can tell you how awesome the YXZ 1000R is to shift, or the Sport Shift is to shift, but until you actually get in the vehicle, you do it yourself, you go through some of that gnarly stuff as opposed to, reading it somewhere else, that it really just kind of puts two and two together.
One thing we wanted to know from Scott was why Yamaha has become so big at the Brimstone Paragon event.
Yeah, with Brimstone and Yamaha, we've had a long-standing relationship with them. I mean, they're relatively close to our southeast headquarters down in Kennesaw, Georgia. But not only do they have such a diverse terrain out here that offers such a great variety, but they just really know how to put on events. It's a full experience from top to bottom. Getting even country music stars out here like Hank Williams Jr. It's really the full package.
We think that Scott and the crew from Yamaha hit this nail right on the head, and that Brimstone Paragon is a great place for them to be able to interact with consumers and truly show off their product.
It's great to come out, in places like Brimstone, because you get the rocks, the ruts, the uphills, the descents, to where a consumer can experience what our ultramatic transmission is like in, like, say, the Wolverine R-Spec, or you jump over to the YXZ 1000R, and they can actually see the vehicle is fully capable out here in the off-road terrain. And now that we have our GOITR reduction kit that we're offering, I mean, that's just a very added experience to it overall. But when a customer can go from the Wolverine R spec that we've actually done testing on out here when we were developing the product, they can take that through some of the gnarliest stuff, and then right there alongside you is also the YXZ1000R, which a lot of people are like, oh no, that's West Coast, that's sand, that's dunes. Well, not the case, and we can really showcase that here. But Yamaha, whenever we show up to any of these events, we really want to make sure that the customer is covered from top to bottom with everything that they need. We have helmets, gloves, goggles, long sleeve shirts, pants, everything that you need if you want to demo the vehicle. And all the way down to if you want to bring in your vehicle, no matter what it is, other brand, we have our Yamaha pressure washers. You guys can get them clean, keep them nice and sparkly.
If you attend any Brimstone event, there's a couple of things that you're guaranteed to see. Drag racing, pole bending, and the obstacle course. And guess what? They are all free with entry. Yep, that's right. It's free when you attend the event. Costs you nothing, and the winners of each event receive free registration to next year's Paragon. How cool and easy is that? Not to mention, the way that they lay out the course and build the drag strip is super professional. One of my friends, Denny, who I traveled to Alaska with nearly 8 years ago, is the heavy equipment operator and ensures each year that participants have a blast. The obstacle course was the first up on the list. I mean, people had everything from 450 Sport ATVs to utility side-by-sides, right up to the Pure Sport Turbo side-by-sides. And everybody there wanted to prove that they were the fastest and that they were going to take home free registration for next year's event. The course had some very unique obstacles, and while there were a few tip-overs and some banners that didn't survive, everyone walked away having a blast and staying safe thanks to the required helmet, long-sleeve shirt, and gloves. To keep it fair, professional timing lights are used so that everyone is on the same level. Honestly, I don't know why more events don't do this type of course. It's such a good time and had even the ladies entering to prove that they could run a fast time. The crowd seemed to enjoy watching, and at the end of the day, a bone stock YXZ1000 won the class. Following the obstacle course was the pole bending event. No, you don't bend poles. What you do is you take off from the finish line, you race through a set of pylons, you come back through a set of pylons, and then you go back across the finish line as fast as you possibly can. We were only able to stick around for the sport ATVs, and man, these guys could do it fast. You could smell the race gas in the air and the competitive nature the few participants had. These guys were here to prove something, and while it was only free registration on the line, you wouldn't have known it. When they hit the gas, it was on. The level of competition was high, and it was great to see everyone laughing and having a good time when the helmets came off. When the sun goes down and the dirt cools off, it's all about drag racing. Folks line both sides of the track and pack in anywhere that they can to see who brought the fastest ATV or side-by-side to the event. Many drag races at events will have just a flagman, but here at Brimstone Paragon we have a full set of timing lights in a tree, so it's professional, just like the big drag strip. From the Sport 450 ATVs to utility side-by-sides, four-seaters and turbos, everyone had a chance to run their buggy through the lights and try for a fast time. There were some surprises and some laughs, and at the end everyone had a great time. And don't worry, only a few egos were injured during the filming of this show. Once all of the excitement and the fun from the events had quieted down, the big news was going to be who would take home the YXZ1000 Sport Shift from the Wild Mountain Rampage. Prior to the concert, all eligible participants were called to the stage. They each drew a paddle from a big block of wood, and one of those paddles would have a marking underneath a piece of tape. As they removed the tape, the winner was revealed, and man was he excited to have just won a brand new YXZ1000 Sport Shift. And as for the rest of the huge crowd, and myself along with them, we were able to kick back, relax, and enjoy the sounds of Hank Williams Jr.
If you like this video, click the link and subscribe to Trax's YouTube page where we're updating all kinds of fresh stuff like you've just seen.